Darlo Debbie. I come from Darlinghurst in Sydney. I'm a member of the Debbie Performance Troupe, DebbieDoesn'tDoItForFree.com. We've all assumed Debbie names, and Debbie Doesn't Do It For Free is originating from the Debbie Does Dallas, you know. But the reason we do that is because a lot of sex workers today still can't be out and proud about what they do, and so this gives you some protection to, or some anonymity if you like, but to be able to stand up and fight for the rights of sex workers. The Debbies have taken our activism role as fighting for law reform and for anti-discrimination protection and fighting back against stigma and discrimination into the theatrical realm. So performance art, as you see around you. So that's kind of the Debbies, and we like to challenge the stigma, and we're having a little session here today, as you can see, Ask a Horror Question. And so you can ask a sex worker any question you like.
What do you think it is are the biggest misconceptions about sex work that people have out there?
Oh, there are so many. You know, where would I start? But, you know, I think a lot of people think that we are victims. At best, we're victims to be rescued, you know, and at worst, we're the dirty, diseased whores spreading the virus. You know, I'm here to say with my sisters and brothers from around 30 countries around the world attending this AIDS conference in Melbourne, that we are the heroes in the prevention of HIV. Our research in Australia shows that sex workers now have better sexual health outcomes than do our non-sex working counterparts. So we have the evidence, and we're telling that to the rest of the world actually through this conference. We're challenging criminalisation. As you can see, a little petition there asking people to sign to help us even change the law that we have in Victoria, which is licensing and legalisation. But some good news came through yesterday that the criminal laws around HIV in Victoria are about to be dismantled or demolished.
That's great.
And I think there's going to be a statement made this afternoon from health ministers around the country that may well be following the same road. So if there's anybody at this conference that will be supporting the Swedish or Nordic model, I hope they leave this conference thinking, well, that's just the worst place to be with sex workers. Advance our rights, give us agency, and we become safe sex advocates, as we've done in Australia and in many other parts of the world.
So what are the benefits of being a sex worker? Because we always hear about the negatives. What are some of the really good things?
Well, the good things are I'm my own boss.
Yeah.
I can come and go into the profession as I see fit. You know, I'm not a young woman anymore, but and I've worked on and off for maybe close on 40 years now. But I love my work. I love my clients. I now go into nursing homes and see men in their late 80s. And the interesting thing there, Yolande, is that I'm being called up on by the adult daughters of men who've got a bit of dementia happening. That once upon a time never even talked to their fathers about sex, and here they are arranging a whore to come and visit their dad in the nursing home. I just love it. That's all done through Touching Base, the organisation that connects sex workers with people with disability. We have a website, touchingbase.org.au, and we have a database now of trained up and willing men, women, transgender sex workers who just love to provide their services to people with a disability. So, but, you know, there are many benefits. You know, I am my own boss. I love it. I'm part of a global network of the most wonderful people that anybody could ever meet. I'm seeing sex workers here today that I haven't seen in 30 years, you know. I last saw in 1985. So it's a great opportunity to share where we've been on this amazing journey and where we've come from, and to showcase a little bit New South Wales, much hard-won decriminalisation, to share some of the research that we've recently done over the last few years. The Law and Sex Worker Health Project with Professor Basil Donovan and Dr. Christine Harcourt, where we compared the different legislative states around the country. So we looked at New South Wales decriminalisation, we looked at licensing in Victoria, where they license the bodies of us if you want to work and register you forever, and still in Western Australia where it's still criminalised. So we looked at outcomes for health and well-being, abilities to access the workplaces, how health promotion sits within all of that, and of course we found that New South Wales has the best outcomes in terms of accessing the sex industry. We don't have a two-tiered system like they have here in Victoria. You've either got a DA or you haven't, but you're not illegal if you haven't. You just simply don't have a development approval from council, so you're not illegal. So people are more readily allowing people into those workplaces to continue our outreach, information campaigns on prevention of HIV. But our work goes way beyond disease prevention. Our work is about advancing the human rights of sex workers. The last frontier for us in Australia is anti-discrimination protection. And I won't rest until we get that, and I will continue to fight for that until my dying breath.
Look, the last thing I wanted to ask you is, I know that Australia is very progressive when it comes to sex worker laws. You've just told us about all the different states. What is it like in the rest of the world for sex workers?
You look to what's happening in Northern Europe with the Nordic model that seems to be sweeping Northern Europe at the moment. I was just talking to somebody from Norway about half an hour ago, and she said, like I said to her, there was no evidence to say that this was the best practice approach, and you've got no evidence to say that it's even bloody working, so what are you going to do about it? And she said there is a little movement happening there to maybe reverse that Nordic model, because it's not helping anybody. With that criminalisation of clients, it's an assumption that all of our clients are Jack the Ripper, which is so far from the bloody truth. We love our clients, but from time to time we all have a bad date, whether it's been paid for or not. But if we are living in a decriminalised model, then we can expect the law to protect us. So wherever people criminalise aspects of sex work, they ignore the fact that they already have criminal laws in place that can criminalise those aspects that would be harming us. So we don't need special laws. We need decriminalisation to take away all the laws from us and give agency to people who work in this industry to start, arguing for better labour rights, labour laws. I mean, that's what it's really about for us, to improve our right to work safely and work from our homes if that's what we want, work in the street if we want. And we were lucky enough in New South Wales to decriminalise street-based sex work back in 1979. Amazing, isn't it? So we would like to see the rights of women and men across the country and the world having agency and the right to work safely and free from prosecution.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Debbie. Enjoy.
My pleasure. My pleasure.